Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sausan Nabilah. I'm from Class 2A from Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa University. In here, I will explain about local culture-based picture storybooks for teaching English for young learners. Local culture-based picture storybooks for teaching English for young learners. What is this? They are kind of print material which basically contain stories adapted from local culture, stories accompanied with visualization in the form of picture telling the character and the setting to help young learners easily understand the stories. Teaching media for young learners which cover local culture stories in the form of print books. These books consist of your types of folklore, namely myth, fable, folktale, and legends. They develop by considering the criteria of a good storybook. The benefits of its development is 1. To improve reading skill of young learners, 2. To build children English literacy, 3. Listening to the story read by the teachers and communication interactively with them through dialogic reading. 3. Create a fun learning atmosphere which enhances motivation and participation to take part in understanding and using the language. And 4. The preserve local culture. Teaching English to young learners should be given as early as possible because it can increase acquisition. English language competence is useful for preparing professional workers who are able to compare for job vacancies in tourism and other, as well as for the advancement of science and technology in the ASEAN Economic Community. Low student interest in reading. Indonesian learners possess low interest in reading. Thus, they spend approximately 10 to 11 years to learn English formally from primary to tertiary level. Even though reading is one of the language skills which are important, through reading, learners can improve their knowledge. Empirically, the use of stories can motivate young learners in addition to fun and enjoyment. 2. In addition, teaching young learners by using stories has a strong effect on student listening and speaking. 3. And teaching using picture can support independent reading, develop reading strategies, and foster reading motivation. How to increase students' reading interest? Step 1. Develop a picture storybook. By using books of this kind, students can be more interested in reading and more motivated to understand the message of the story. Step 2. Through stories based on local culture, learning English can be made contextual. Through the insertion of local culture, students will appreciate, love, and preserve local cultural values. Step 3. And they can develop the use of language for communicative purpose. And the last, step 4. They can be directly involved in creating interactive dialogue in the process of reading stories through dialogue reading. What is important characteristics of young learner? 1. Young learners have a short attention. 2. They like to imagine. 3. They are active learners. 4. They love the play. 5. They are happy with appreciation. 6. They like to imitate what they hear. And the last, they do not feel embarrassed. The steps of developing local culture-based picture storybooks. Step 1. Need analyze. Interview 9 teachers from 9 primary schools in 9 sub-districts to find out whether they use picture storybooks based on local culture in teaching English to young students or not. Step 2. Developing product. Consider the criteria of a good storybook, namely having conflict, at least one main character, attractive color, and illustration that reflect the mood, as well as the accuracy and diversity of cultural marker in making description. Example, various skin tones, facial features, body type, hairstyle, or texture. Step 3. Expert validation. The content validity is carried out by two expert judges who give evaluation on the relevance of the books based on the combination of good criteria of picture book and storybook. Step 4. Quality assessment by expert and user. Quality assessment by expert and user teacher is carried out after completing the validity of the content of the picture storybook based on local culture. Step 5. Main product revision. Okay, thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.